Morning everyone. I think it's still morning. We've got Uber there, little Mr. Weirdo. Iceman, he's made a mess of his Jody plaits. And Hannes, he's taken out his forelock plait. So Hannes and Iceman are up here waiting patiently for Chris to arrive. Look, we've got Frey over there who's going to be giving her little Mr. Uber, little Mr. Weirdo, a bit of a pamper. Get rid of some of that hair today. And then we've got the harrows on the back of Arthur, because I'm going to go and harrow the Hoitze and Jubba's garden before Frey and I go and spread all the grass seed, because we're due to get rain tomorrow, so the sooner it gets down, the sooner it can start growing. Getting the steps in today. Girls are still down in the long field as they were this morning, because that's where all the tasty grass is. And this is what can take up a lot of time in the day, because the fields are so far from the yard. So I've shouted them, but they're taking their time. Hey ladies. But the good thing is we've got Neeky News at the front and Doubtson at the front. So they must have known. Everybody else is coming and they're going to be disappointed because I'm not bringing them in. There's little Skinny Innie. She's always running over this way. She's such a sweetheart. I'm sorry, Skinny Innie, though. I'm not bringing you in today. Oh. Hey, Noodles. Hey, Dow. This is me being particularly lazy. I'm riding Dow up just in her head collar because she's very good. Just riding her bareback. Neeky Noodles is following behind. I clearly won't get as many steps as I would have if I'd walked up. But Dale's quite happy. Hannes has had his toes done, as has Iceman. He's on the left there, and Hannes has just come out to join them. He was also keeping Spesh company. I've got here as well. And of course Uber wants to chat because it's a girl. So Hannes was keeping Spesh all settled while she had her toes done, because she likes a bit of company, don't you? So she's got nice fresh shoes. But Uber, she's not coming out with you. No. As much as you love the ladies, it's not happening. Oh, Iceman, you've got nice tidy toes as well. You handsome boys. Right, come on, Spesh, let's get you back down the road. No chatting to the boys. Back out with the girlies. So for those of you that don't know, Spesh is the one who has what's called a fractured extensor process in her front right foot, and that's where the top of the pedal bone just has a little fracture in it. So it's really important that she has the right angle on her feet all the time. But in a straight line, she's pretty sound. It's more when she's turning on a circle that she gets a little bit uncomfortable. But she wears extra pads on her heels to keep the angle right. Because if she ends up falling down too low on her heels, then she feels that fracture a little bit more. And it's a fracture that, you know, it's never going to heal, but it'll fuse, or it's probably fused into place. And, you know, she manages as best she can. As you can see, she's walking nicely along there. And she can see all her buddies out in the field. There we go. Met by her sister, Neeky News. He has decided that he wants to go on the walker this morning. So he's joining Nero in there. You can have a few spins round. You see, it's these pavers. They love them. Annie, you kept everybody entertained on the live last night. Didn't you, darling? Do you not want to go on the walker this morning? I'm going to have to give you a proper bath and a clean up today because she is so super itchy at the moment. And it's only because all the hair's coming out and it just makes her really irritable. Hence why she was pulling so many faces yesterday. Hey, plus because it wasn't about you. But hopefully we'll squeeze in time to get that done today. Yes, including my belly. There's lots of hair coming off my belly that needs to get out so that I can stop being quite so itchy. Anyway, are you two quite happy in there? Nero, with all your bed head? And little Floppy do, is that a bit fast for you? Should we slow it down a bit? And take it a little bit steadier. He looks quite happy though. Hoitze only got his front legs trimmed yesterday because we kind of ran out of time. So they're looking all nice and clean and tidy. But his back legs were a little bit sensitive because, as you know, that's his favourite scratchy spot. And he does get quite sensitive if we don't keep on top of them well enough. And I'm ashamed to say that we haven't clipped them out recently. So there's lots of little bits of excess skin growing in there, which he finds really irritating. So I bathed them yesterday, cleaned them up, popped some frontline on, just to combat any mites that might be getting in there and causing extra irritation. And this morning, we're going to clip them. So we can have a nice pamper time, Hoitze, because this time of year where all the coat's coming out, they do need a good old clean up. And also with visitors coming into stable stays, we always like Hoitze to be really nice and clean and tidy. They'll thoroughly enjoy grooming him, but we need to get the worst of the hair out so that they're not absolutely coated in hair within 5 minutes of being with him. much hair coming out right now. Definitely under the tummy is one of the places they can't always reach themselves. You can see all that fluff. This is why a lot of them get very, very itchy. As you can see, that's an awful lot of hair that's come out of the young man. But he'll hopefully be feeling much more comfortable now. And by the time he's had a bath, he'll be feeling even better, hopefully. And some of this hair will actually go to be mixed into the lime plaster that's going to be used on the walls in the laundry room that Tamara's been renovating over in the house. Uber doing his usual and monopolising the treat balls. Oh, so you're not getting a look in? I know that you've had quite a few already. Look at your dirty little nose. Very dirty little nose. And Hannes has got the other one over here. Hey, Angel Eyes. I'm pleased to say that where he was quite sore round the bottom of his eye here, it's looking so much better, isn't it? Oh, Iceman, you get in there. I think he's probably eaten all. You might find one or two left. I wouldn't even think about trying, Hannes, because you've got no chance. But I could go and pinch one for you. Uber, I'm going to take one of your treat balls, sorry. Go on, you go for that one. And then Hannes can come for this one. There we go. It's rather inconvenient that only Yodel, Dow and Ren have come down for breakfast this morning. So Arthur and I will have to go off to the long field to find everybody else. I need to go quickly, otherwise Yodel will finish hers and come running down and steal everybody else's. As you like to do, don't you, Yodel? At least you weren't too far away. There we go. There's Micah. And Spesh. So Skinny Annie, that's yours. Micah, that's yours. And Spesh, that's yours. There we go. Spesh with the white handles. Micah with the green. skinny in the blue, yellow and green. If we had peach masking tape, then her handles would be peach. And in fact, Spesh's would be pink. But we haven't got pink masking tape either. Oh, Yodel's on the prowl. You'll have to eat up, girls, before she gets here. Yoda, I'll have to keep you entertained while they finish eating. No, you're not going over there. No, I'm afraid you're not, my darling. We need to let them finish eating. Yep, Yodel's come up just to make sure that everybody's bowl is clean. But she's only getting the last dregs. Don't think that your sister is going to share. Hey, Spesh. She doesn't share with anybody. Other than Hida, maybe. Oh, Yodel, don't be so mean. That's Spesh's bowl. Spesh, there you go. You can lick yours out. It's just the last little bits. Micah, are you trying to lick out the boys' bowls? I think they did a pretty good job themselves. Oh, Yodel just needs to check in us now, make sure that that's clean. That's nice and clean. Don't worry, Anna, you did get it all. It was just the last little dregs. Honestly, anyone would think that you're all starving. Right, Mai, do you want to go to Mel's today? Yeah? Do you fancy a little trip over there? I think that would be nice. We've not been with you for a few weeks, have we? That's all right if you just clean Arthur first. Are we done? Little inner. You want to check she's done a good enough job? Or has she left a bit? So all the girls decided to go off down to the long field. So I'm on my way back down the hill to go and get them, because I need to bring Doubtson and Micah in. And today's been one of those days where it's reminded me of the amount of time that it takes to do so many different things. We know that it's a bit of a time vacuum here at Greenbank. You know, the hours, the days, the weeks, the months just disappear. Or maybe that's an age thing, who knows? But this morning, as you'll see in the rest of the video, I was giving Hoitze his first proper spring clean after the winter. And it reminded me that when I first got the Friesians, one of the things that really struck me was how much longer it takes to bath one of those thoroughly and prep them really well compared to a lot of other breeds. You know, maybe not Shires or other big heavy horses, but because they can get so hairy, they've got all those feathers, a big thick mane, a big thick tail, it does take a long time. So Hoitze needed to be prepped for his stable stay, and of course with all that coat coming out, it was going to take a lot more time, and I needed to clip his legs out as well. So I've done it all on time lapse for you so that you can see. And I trialled something today a little bit different, because whenever I've bathed him in the past, he's always been tied up and he's always fidgeted when I've done his body. So I just wanted to see how he'd be if I left him loose in Bessie's barn, and just see how he reacted, and how much he moved around depending on what part of his body I was washing or clipping. So it did take a little bit longer than usual, but it was really nice just to give him the freedom to move as he wanted and tell me what he found uncomfortable and what he was quite happy with. But all in all, it took about 2 hours to defluff him, clip his back legs, make sure that I got all the grease out of his mane and his tail, and got out as much of his loose hair as I could, so that our visitors in stable stays aren't getting covered in it from the minute that they walk in with him. So that, as I say, is a time-consuming thing, but it's one of the things that I'm a little bit OCD about, is the presentation of the horses and how comfortable they feel. Now, a lot of people don't bath horses, and I know that a lot of you think that we bath them too much. We do tend to wash their legs and their tails a lot throughout the winter because we need to keep on top of any skin issues, but we don't necessarily bath their whole bodies, you know, unless they're particularly bad and they're particularly uncomfortable. So the springtime wash is always that much more time consuming. And then of course there's all the time of that, and then there's all the time of walking down to the field to get the boys or girls in, and the girls in particular, who've decided to go right to the far end. And don't get me wrong, sorry, that's bad. I've just found a knife in the middle of the field. That's actually fallen out of my tractor. I love walking, and I love walking around our land, but when you've got lots to do, sometimes you think, oh, please guys, just run down to the gateway, because generally they all love to be up at the yard. You know, that's where they want to be most of the time. But with the grass coming through and the fact that I've not put haylage out for them down at the front of the field, they're spending all of their time up here eating. But, you know, that's fine. I've got my steps in and they're all happy. So that's the main thing. But it would be quite nice to have them a little bit closer to the yard. I've got Micah and Doubtson. Doubtson had her jumper on last night just because I'm trying to keep the weight on her, and it did go a bit chilly, so I thought she could stay a little bit warmer. We've also got Spesh wanting to come up as well. Yodel in the background over there. And now we start the march back up the hill. Now I feel really guilty because Spesh has joined me all the way down to the gate. Nobody else has come with her, and I'm just taking Mai and Doubtson back up the hill. So you're going to have to go back and join everybody else up the top. I'm sorry, Speshy. I'll bring you in tomorrow, I promise. You're going to go back and join everyone. There's little Neeky News on the left and Maybelline. They've been up with Jodie this morning, having a good clean and tidy, a replat, and doing a bit of groundwork. There's little Prince call through there with Jim. I think that's Jodie just over in the hay hole. Micah, it's your turn. You gonna come on? So we haven't done this for a long time, taken 3 to Mel's. Yeah, so we've got Doubtson in the back, Iceman in the middle. Micah's gonna come on the end because we can't go to Mel's next week. There's so much going on. And she had a cancellation before our 2 sessions, so she offered us a 3rd one. We couldn't resist, so Micah gets to go as well. Oh, Micah was really good. She's very tight, and she's very tight through those shoulders, but I think she's enjoyed her session over at Mel's. And now Dow, amazingly, is actually stood attached to the lorry, which she never likes to do, because she generally likes to stand and look over the gateway. Jody's just doing some work with Hoitze, just to get him walking out a little bit. He's got much more freedom through his shoulders than he used to have. And there's certainly a lot less falling in on the circle than there used to be, so he travels round in much better self-carriage. And if you can get this on the ground, then you have a better chance of getting it once you're on board. He's such a lovely moving horse. So of course we've got Dale celebrating her birthday this Saturday, her 16th birthday. And then we've got Iceman over here, who's celebrating his birthday next Wednesday. And if you haven't seen it, Frey put live yesterday the raffle for that beautiful quilt, another wonderful quilt made by our quilting queen Diane in his ice blue colours, with a little bit of teddy bear blue in there as well. His old buddy. So you can get those tickets bought by visiting the website, and that raffle will run for the next couple of weeks. That's all three of them done. Super proud of them, and it really showed how all the groundwork really pays off. Is that a nice welcome home from Hidda? Eh? Right, you ready to go back down to the field? Hidda and Annie are looking longingly at the lorry. I think they want a little day trip out themselves, but we know Annie's wanted one for a while. Where are we going to take them, Jodie? Do we need to take them to the beach?
I think the beach.
Yeah. What do you think, Floppy do? Little trip out to the beach? I'll probably get back up the road and they'll have loaded themselves. Oh no, maybe Annie wants to come with us. No, she's gonna... Oh, yeah. Did you want to come down with the girlies? Eh? Maybe not tonight, maybe tomorrow. You've got to keep Hidda company out here. Have they been telling you they're getting better grass? Well, it's a bit late in the day, Annie, isn't it? I think it's nearly 7 o'clock, but look, it's still daylight, just about. We've got little Princey out there. But I did promise Annie that she could have a bit of a defluff and a scratch today. So I've obviously spent a lot of time cleaning Hoitze up this morning. We've had the 3 horses over at Mel's. We've got done up and all sorted. And the last job of the day outside is to give Annie her little pamper. And we will get you bathed, I promise, but it might just be in a couple of days' time. Get rid of all that loose hair. Yeah. stop being angry. Eh? I love these verminators. Do you love it as well, Annie? Yeah? All that hair coming out. Eh? Loads of it.
I wake up in the morning with a smile on my face, feeling thankful for the love and the happiness we chase. Sun is shining brightly, sky so blue and clear. With every breath I take, I'm grateful you are near. So grateful, yeah. Thank you for the laughter, thank you for the tears, thank you for the moments that we hold dear. Thank you for the love, thank you for the light. I'm grateful every day. You make my world so bright, oh so bright. The world can be a crazy